Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Spurley, and I apologize for not uploading in like a week and a day, something like that. But anyway, I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna move the mic real quick. Okay, sorry. I don't know if you guys actually hear the mic move or not, but either way, I just want to apologize for that. But anyway, so the story I want to tell you guys today is about these two kids. Well, I guess it was three, but but these two main kids that sorry, I have some orange juice. Normally, when people like have videos and they're like, "Oh, hold on, I got a nice delicious glass of orange juice," or like some kind of drink, it's usually like, "Come on, you're doing a YouTube video." So I apologize for that. I'm not gonna drink for the rest of the video. I just realized how dumb that was. But anyway, no time to start again. But so there's these two kids, and they were kind of known for going out and like going around town and just kind of breaking everything in the town. Like, they were like the craziest kids I have ever met to this day. And they used to say they're gonna go FSU, and that's basically they're gonna go fuck shit up. FSU is, fuck shit up. That's what that means. So that was basically their entire plan, was just to see how much shit they can fuck up in an entire night. And it would actually get really, really crazy. And so, of the two kids, I kind of knew one of them. I had classes with one of them, but he wasn't like the main guy. But he was like the stunt man. But the other guy was kind of like the mastermind of the whole thing. But anyway, so I kind of knew one of them, but like I had this class in the first semester. I forget what year, but anyway, that's really not important. I had this class. I guess it was first semester senior year. I had this class at the same time as this other kid, and it wasn't like a classroom like in a class. It was called the student worker, and what you really did was you were assigned to either like the front office or like a principal or like a teacher, and they would you would either just do kind of random work for the teacher or office or student that teacher or office or whoever you had. You would just kind of do random work if they needed like someone to deliver like them a note, or if they needed just anything, just kind of oddball things, basically. Just basically like a student helper, I guess, so to say. But they changed it to tutor. But anyway, that's really not what I wanted to talk about at all, actually. But so they had we had like it at the same time, and so often our teachers didn't really care what we did, so we would like kind of just hang out. We would go to lunch a lot. We spent a lot of the time going out to eat for lunch, and that's always a lot of fun. But yeah, like mainly we would go out and eat food, and or just walk around the school and like talk like that, kind of things like that. And so over that semester, we got like I don't want to make it sound like gay or creepy or anything, but like we became more close together. And one day we had this one plan to go. I guess I was gonna ride along, so to say, on a FSU session, and he was gonna, there was gonna be me, there was gonna be the main guy, and there was gonna be the lesser guy. Let's give these dudes names. The main guy we're gonna refer to as Matt, and the other guy we're gonna refer to as Will. The lesser guy is gonna be Will, the main guy is gonna be Matt. But so the point is, we were gonna go with him and go FSU, and we had all of like the students had heard crazy stories about what these kids had done. And like sometimes they would bring along like some other guy, and they would come back in like the next Monday and just be like, yeah, holy shit, it was crazy. They did some crazy shit. And the highlight of what they did was not the highlight, but I'll just give you a couple rundowns of what they did. Like once they like would go to like cars, and they would like get out, and they're just literally crazy. Like they would find a car and like chase them around town, and then once they stopped, like they would just get out and like yell at them and like scream at them and try to fight them and things like that. It's really just borderline stupid. But some days they would go out like in the middle of the night, and they would just go to a street with a bunch of cars like parked in the street, and they would go to find an open door, and once they would find an open door, they would tear off the door. Like they would just kind of push it back and forth until like it would rip off, and they would try to do it with as many doors as they could, and they would like break the glass on the window and like steal things from inside the car, and like piss on the seats and on the steering wheel, and like a bunch of different things like that. And it was just so, they just used to do like crazy things. And so one day they were like, hey, do you want to go along with us. And I didn't have anything better to do, and so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so that weekend, the previous weekend, he had told me, okay, it's hard to sometimes explain, like, vocalize these things, but anyway, the previous weekend, he had told me a story when we were walking around the school, and, like, when we went out to eat, about how he bought this gun. It was like a revolver, and, like, the serial number was, like, scratched out, and he had bought this gun from what was supposed to be, like, either, like, a wannabe gang member or, like, an actual gang member. But the point was, like, it was just kind of like a punk, basically, and it wasn't like a kid, like, it was an adult that sold this gun to him. And it was a revolver, and he sold him, like, a box of ammo with it too. So he had this revolver, and he had this that's a bunch of ammo. Like, it wasn't just like a box, like you buy ammo in from, like, Walmart or, like, a gun store. It was, like, literally like a box you put books in when you move. Like, they came with a ton of ammo, and he only paid like $200. I'm assuming because it was used in a crime and he needed to get rid of it. But anyway, so the point is, he had this gun, and I heard stories about how he would, like, go in, like, to neighborhoods and, like, shoot it off, and, like, shoot, like, stop signs and things like that with it, and then run away and see if anyone would, like, chase them or things like that. But they didn't, like, shoot at anyone's cars or houses like that. They would just kind of shoot it up in the air or shoot it at, like, stop signs. And so he had told me that story, and so I kept that in mind, and I was like, okay, why not? And so apparently earlier in that week he had bought a blowgun as well, and it wasn't like an Indian or like an Amazon one. It was like a real blowgun, and like it was made out of plastic, and it would shoot these metal needles, so to say, and like these darts, but they were like really long, thick needles. Like if you've ever gotten your blood like taken or something like that, it was like kind of like that but bigger and way more sharp. Like this wasn't like the purpose of this wasn't to gather blood, it was like to make you bleed. And so one day I was like, I really don't want to break any car doors off, because I have a feeling that could easily come back and bite us, because you can't rip off a car door really quickly. Like, it's going to take some time, and that just leaves you chances to get caught. And they're like, yeah. We don't really do that as much anymore. And I was like, yeah, I wonder why. And so we joked around with that for a while. And then we pulled up into this Walgreens, and it was late at night. It was like around midnight, and the Walgreens close at midnight where I live. And so this lady was walking out into her car, and she was like putting her groceries, like she was gonna put them in her trunk, and she was like putting her key like into the trunk to open up the trunk. And the little guy, I forgot what we named the lesser guy. I'm sorry, the names didn't work, but not like the mastermind, not the one that I had been friends with and had the same class with, but the other guy who I had other classes with, just not the student worker one. He started yelling at her, and like just like, like I don't really know how it's like. I'm gonna feel bad repeating it, but like, no, I won't feel bad. Who gives a shit? But he was like, "Yeah, you fucking cunt, come back here. I'm gonna beat your fucking ass." And like, he was like just yelling at her and just saying terrible things to her. And then she turned around and went, "Excuse me?" And he just kind of looked at her and like started to get out of the car. And so immediately she just kind of turned back around and started putting her groceries away. And so the main guy who I had the class with and who invited me to go took the blowgun and held it from the driver's seat, and like it like held it like basically right to where the window like was at, and he just went and he blew this dart, and it just nailed her like in the back. And like we drove off, like, because we were like, let's get the hell out of here. I think we just committed a major crime. And so eventually they got away, and we were like, hey, we need to go, we need to do something else. Because we need to start working on an alibi just in case. And so eventually, we went our separate ways for that night. Right after that, I got back to my car and got my alibi and everything like that. And then the next morning, not the next morning, like the weekend after, like the Monday at school, we were looking through the newspaper, because one of our jobs was to deliver newspapers to classrooms. Like I said, just random kind of jobs. And so when we went to go deliver, we were looking through one of the newspapers, and in the newspaper there was an article about these not two, but like this car full of high school, they didn't know it was high school students, but we knew it was high school students. But the article was, it was this car that came into this Walgreens parking lot, yelled at this lady, and then shot her with a blowgun, and she had to go to the hospital and get it removed and things like that. and they actually snagged a picture of the car from the Walgreens security camera, and like had the picture of the car, and you can kind of see the main guy holding the blowgun out, and you can kind of see like me in the back, like, oh shit, like it's hard to like give you a perfect image of what I was doing, but I was like, I had like my hands in the air and stuff like that, and but you couldn't really make out who was what, so that's kind of where they had like the most problems with, and so from that, and then that point on, I was like, you know what, I don't know if I want to commit crimes with you anymore, but that guy was a cool dude. Sometimes I go out with him and we do some crazy shit. But anyway, that's my story for today. Sorry for not uploading a video in a while, so hopefully you guys like this one. See you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed that video, here's 2 more on the screen that you might be interested in watching. The one on the left is a commentary my girlfriend made. It's about one of her party stories. And the one on the right is about the Total Frat Move movie and what I'm thinking about it, and kind of my expectations, I guess, so to say. And also, you can click subscribe in the bottom right. Thank you guys for watching.